Oh, what is up, YouTube? HPJ here, and I'm coming to you guys today with a tournament recap video. And I'm redoing this one because I'm at least in a better mindset than I was yesterday when I did it originally. Um, I'm still not recovered from the whole situation because it is very, very difficult to deal with um, a lot of things because I don't take losing well. No one takes losing well, but it's the consecutive. I'm constantly losing. When do I get my flowers for all the hard work and effort and stuff I put into it? Yeah, it was my first go back after a month, and I did not expect what was supposed to be very small. Just was a very small tournament, but also it was still dealing with the same issues of you put a lot of money and effort into a deck and then you still lose constantly. So yeah, let the record show that. Also the factor of how matches and losses are preceded is that you don't count the it's like every other game. You don't count the wins within the match. You only count the result of the match itself. So in case people are wondering that, you said, "Oh, you won, you won." It's like, no, I have no wins, like at all. All my record literally says losses, and yeah, it's not even the higher losses. It's like I'm on the bottom of the poll. Like if we look right now online to look at what the lineup would say, I am literally the player on the bottom of the brackets for my locals every time. So, yeah. Um, Reason why I want to redo this because I was in a better mindset to at least talk about the transactions of yesterday, and also I need to make sure that this is focused because it bugs me sometimes when I look at the recording. I'm like, why is this not even? It's better yet. I might as well just go get me a new arm. I have a new arm, but it's like, the complications of trying to work a new arm is just ridiculous. But yeah, so we have Loogamon here, and of course, you guys know, this is Loogamon with all of the additional stuff in it. I'll do a quick recap of what's in the deck so you guys can know. It is 4 copies of BT 14's Balmon for the Digitama. And then for the rookies, 4 copies of BT 14's Loogamon and 4 copies of BT 15's Loogamon. Then 2 copies of Fascomon from BT 13 with 2 copies of Fascomon from Structure Deck 14. That's Beelzemon Structure Deck. And then the 2 copies of Gizamon from BT3. So that's the rookies going to the champions. The 4 copies of Loogamon from BT14, 2 copies of Loogamon Dual Color from BT15, 2 copies of Tyrannomon from BT15, 2 copies of Black Gatomon from Structure Deck 8. That's Parallel World Tactics. And then, no, BT8, I'm sorry. What? Oh, because you know what? She was in that structure deck as well. I think it's like maybe 1 or 2 of her. Alright, then, we got How Loogamon and Soul Loogamon for the Ultimates, and I'm running 4 of each. And then the Mega was, of course, the 4 copies of Fenrir Loogamon. Then, for the Tamers, or the 4 copies of AG, and then the 4 copies of the Analog Boy. Then for the Tamers. Then for the auction cards, 4 copies of Wisdom Training with 2 copies of Purple Memory Boots. So yeah, that was pretty much it in terms of the cards that I played in the deck overall. To that were built for Loogamon. So this build was basically what I built using what I saw online. Because what was it? I don't have Chimeramon, who's supposed to be in the deck, in quotes. Because I don't really follow everybody's builds. I really don't try to, because everybody has their own way of playing playing decks themselves. So I try to play decks more unique to my own playing style, which I have not found a deck in Digimon since Mastermon that plays one play style. And the only reason why I haven't played Mastermon is because Mastermon is way too slow to deal with a lot of the things that she has to do it, and also she has to do with a lot of massive boards being created. And because light has a tendency to not have massive removal, but every other every other attribute, every other color in the damn game and does. And apart to things having to be specifically built for particular decks, it was really hard for me to play Mastermind for right now. I think even when Mastermind gets her buff back in June, it's still going to be a problem because where's her massive removal? They're only focused on speeding up her freezing. But that's for a different video. Loogamon in these cases, I don't know how to play Loogamon. So working on trying to play Loogamon, trying to test the different combinations and stuff, really did not help yesterday. Specifically because the games that I played were two against Terriermon, and then the last one was Shining Greymon. And Shining Greymon Ruin Mode, because I know absolutely nothing about this $50, $60 card, was that its effects linger till the end of my turn. So I can't promote anyone because they're going to blow up on the field. So you have to play someone that was 15 or less. The only thing I had in my hand that I would have to hard play, who was not a blocker, was Fenrir Loogamon. And I didn't have an AG on the field, so I couldn't put the AG under the Fenrir Loogamon to make him blocker because he's going to blow up at the end of the turn if he didn't have enough DP to survive, which he would have because he's 12k DP. The effects linger on to 2k a pop, no 5k a pop, and no one was going to touch anyone touching the field was not going to last unless they were Hal Loogamon. But I used up all my Hal Loogamon at that point to end up in the trash because, well, oops, I didn't realize I was still under Shine Greymon, nor did I know Shine Greymon lingered. So, being in the position where you can't digivolve, you have no of your resources, and oh, two of your champions are sitting in your security because you don't know where they are, because this is a deck that doesn't check security like most other decks do. This is a deck that focuses on its trash and utilizing cards from its trash to digivolve. The other issue is that you have to waste your memory in order to do it. The only way you legitimately get it back is when you start swinging, or because of particular cards effects that say when a card comes into play. So there again, another mechanic that I don't know shit about, because the mechanic says that a card digivolving is not being in terms of on play. So because I don't know shit about half of the things in the game itself as it is, that was another reason why I didn't want to play a lot of cards that say, this reacts to when this card is being played, because I'm assuming when a Digimon digivolves, that's coming into play. Nope, it is not. So yeah, this is part of the reason why I don't know what deck will be comfortable for me at this point. And I do hate a lot of the mechanics in the game because a lot of them do not make sense at all. Like, I thought Yu-Gi-Oh! Was bad with its effects not making fucking sense. Digimon is now topping that. The only real issues, like I said, that I had to deal with was that I'm technically running, and I can show you guys because you guys have already seen it. These are my number of champions. So this ratio right here was not strong enough to really handle what was coming out to the board, because these are basically the majority of the targets that I had. If I were to honestly say it, I probably would have traded out maybe put in two more of the Gatomon to replace the Tyrannomon to have the rush instead of the blocker. But even then, I didn't even use the blocker, let's be real. It's rare where I use a blocker, especially in purple. And I only get that through Inherit. So, yeah, I think at that point, if I were to change up the deck, I would have just swapped out the Tyrannomon and made the Tailmons instead. And then, I don't know, I probably would have even got rid of the other Loogamon. But these Loogamon helped me discard, so those would have been an easier setup than anything, and I would have just, probably replaced this for this. The other issue that I had was the rookies. Even though, I'm running I'm running about 8 Loogamon, so that shouldn't have been an issue. The issue ended up being the Fascomon, because in the Gazimon, I think the Gazimon should have easily have been maybe Psychmons, because a lot of the cards were not caring about memory boost. They were getting memory from Tamers already, so I basically needed to deal with the cost effect. Then the Psychmon issue was that I have Psychmon that are basically there to just be floaters, and they should have just been floater Digimon. So that way I would have just floated into draw power, draw one, discard one, and then trigger other effects. So maybe just switch out the structure deck Fascomon, and just made them the BT13 Fascomon. That way it would have just been easier to have stuff being popped in instead. So that way it wouldn't have been so much of an issue. Then moving from that, because those are a thing, I would have just switched out those for the Gazumon. The only other thing I would have said is maybe changing up my option cards, but I don't know what particular option cards could have helped. Chimeramon wouldn't have helped either. Just looking at what the ultimates and stuff brung to the table, I think the ultimates and stuff were perfectly fine. Tamer wise, no, these are the only tamers that the deck actually needed, so there isn't an issue there, because the only issue that was relevant was I couldn't get to AG fast enough to use AG, and I don't know what the fuck Alliance does, so that was also another issue, because if I knew Alliance, the only thing I know about Alliance is that you can give a Digimon the additional, I don't know what people were talking about, an additional hit, or it checks for an additional security, because it doesn't. And I'm literally sitting there like, well, I don't know this deck, and I just asked you guys, and you asked me that I know what I was talking, what he was about. No, I don't know shit. You are explaining to someone a mechanic that they barely understand. Because the only thing I know about Alliance is that you suspend a Digimon to give another Digimon its DP for the turn. And I don't have a way to play more Digimon to unsuspend a Digimon. So, and I'm reading AG's effects. I'm like, no, did you say AG gives someone an additional effect or additional security check? Like, at all. I'm looking at this right now. So, the only thing AG really gives is memory. And then playing himself, and then the Alliance in the booth. The real MVP, ironically enough, was the damn Analog Boys, but I don't play enough fives to stay on the field long enough, unless I'm playing the Loogamon to stay on the field to be popped through its own effect, which happened a lot. But that's literally like the whole situation there. There's a lot of cards here and there. I still don't know shit. And even when asking questions about the deck, it was just like, I think it's okay to just say, I don't know shit about this game. Like I thought I did. Because I don't. So, and then it was like, oh, you should come and play purple. Play in the spring break thing. It's like I can't even play through a regular tournament nor a pre-release. I think I'm just gonna stay to just making decks and having them look cute. So yeah, that's pretty much about it. Um, at this point, I don't think I'll be playing any more tournaments. Um, at this point because I just am not good at them. Um, Especially considering this is just, how long was it? I started playing Digimon at my locals since January. We're in April. Yeah. 3 months of losing and having no real changes to it, and then moving from deck to deck to change into those decks just to try to get things going is just too much to just deal with. It's the mental, the emotional, and the wallet hurting all at the same time. So, yeah. So at least I'm being honest with you guys to let you know what's going on. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Cause I have to get ready to go. Cause I have to. I'm recording this earlier in the morning. Cause I have to now get ready to go to work. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, you can leave those in the comment section below. Social media links are in the description box below. And I will catch you guys next time. HPJ signing out. Take care.